Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, that's it, relax all the muscles around your eyelids. Feel them getting tighter and tighter closed. As you continue to breathe in and breathe out, feel a growing sense of resourceful relaxation going into your body. And feelings of tension, stress, or worry leaving your body in your outward breath, enabling you to go deeper and deeper relaxed. As you breathe in that resourceful feeling of relaxation and just exhale that tension, and not just tension. As you breathe out, feel like anything not working for you and with you is leaving your body in your outward breath. That might be a belief, an emotion like frustration, impatience, sadness. Just feel like anything that isn't necessary is leaving your body, enabling you to create feelings of tranquility and calmness as you breathe in and breathe out. I want you to create an image in your mind of a powerful telescope out there in space. Maybe you've heard of the Hubble telescope or the newer telescope, the James Webb telescope, and I want you to imagine that you're seeing the James Webb telescope and you're able to look through the powerful lenses far off into a distant galaxy. And I want you to imagine that this telescope has locked onto a distant star light years away. And around that star is orbiting what scientists have called a healing planet. There is something in the composition of the oxygen levels in the air, the nutrients in the water, that if any human was to go to this planet, injuries would heal, conditions would suddenly be resolved. And I want you to imagine looking at that healing planet, and then imagine that you can zoom in on that healing planet through this advanced telescope out there in space and then see it closer, just like you're looking at Earth, perhaps from the space station. Now imagine you're looking at this healing planet as if you're orbiting it, which means you're now light years away from Earth, orbiting this healing planet in a distant galaxy. And I want you to imagine there is a place there on that healing planet, a beautiful lake. I want you to imagine next to that lake is an incredible orchard with all different varieties of fruits that just don't exist on Earth. And I want you to imagine you're by the side of that lake on that healing planet. Only on this healing planet, there is more oxygen in the air. So as you breathe in, you're feeling this strange combination of alertness and relaxation. And there are other elements in the atmosphere too that are healing in nature. I want you to imagine just by breathing in and breathing out, you're healing your body from the inside. And what are the healing properties of this unique atmosphere? is that anything that you're holding on to which isn't useful is leaving your body. And I want you to scan your body for any feelings of emotions of the past that you're still holding on to. If you can feel any anger in your body, locate it and then release it on your outward breath. If there's any resentment in your body, locate it and release it on that outward breath, there by that lake, beside that wonderful orchard. Continue to breathe in this healing air and then exhale. Perhaps sadness, worries, frustrations, shame. Allow it all to leave your body, so you feel not just healthier, but you also feel that you've let go of those things that have been holding you back and created space for wonderful feelings of resourcefulness. And sometimes we think that we need resources like discipline and self-control, motivation and focus. But what if the most powerful resource of all is harmony? Isn't harmony how planets are able to thrive? There's a harmonious relationship between a flower and a bee. The very things that a seed needs in order to grow exist in the soil around it. Animals have evolved to do exactly what they need to be harmonious with the very environment that they live in. An animal doesn't use discipline to try and change its environment. It acts in harmony with the environment, and that enables it to make the most of its genetic predisposition. Does a bird need discipline to learn how to fly? Does a fish need discipline to learn how to swim? Or is there an innate ability to just do what's necessary for the environment that they're uniquely positioned to live in? I want you to imagine that you're now looking at this orchard, all different fruit trees. And I want you to get a sense that the fruits on these trees are 10 times as nutritious as any food that exists on earth. And they might look familiar. There might be fruit that looks familiar, like an apple or an orange, a banana or a plum or grape. They're not. They taste different. There might be different colors, but the nutritional properties in the fruit are a reflection of the nutritional qualities in the soil and the nutrition, the water of the rain of this particular planet. And as you eat those fruits, I want you to get a sense that you are further healing the relationship that you have with your body. That when you give your body what it needs, it will repay the favor with what you need. And I want you to attach an emotion to eating nutritious, healing foods. Imagine if you were sick, waiting for medicine for weeks, and then the medicine finally comes. You'd feel this magical, emotional cocktail of relief, gratitude, pleasure, connection with yourself, and you wouldn't hesitate to take that powerful medicine that you've been waiting for weeks. And there are foods that harm and inflame and create imbalance within the body. But there are also foods that heal, that reduce inflammation, that create harmony in the body. And as you imagine eating these wonderful foods there in that orchard on this healing planet, notice the emotions that feel so aligned with just giving your body what it needs. Then I want you to imagine you're wearing whatever clothing is appropriate to bathe in the lake. But this is no ordinary lake. The water in this lake is warm, like a bath. The water in this lake is healing, with a unique combination of minerals that heal your skin, heal your body from the inside. That it's magical that someone could go into this lake sick and leave feeling healthy and healed. I want you to imagine you're now in the lake, feeling the warmth of the water, feeling that you're healing from the inside to the outside and the outside to the inside. And then I want you to imagine that there is someone that looks like a twin, also there in the lake. And this represents the body that you thought had betrayed you. That's also in the lake trying to heal. I want you to accept the suggestion that the body did not betray you. The body simply reacted to an intense time full of pressure and stress, threats and consequences, coercion and shame. And the body did what anyone would do in that situation. Just try and cope. And if you accept that this body did not betray you, if anything, just try to deal with a difficult situation the best it could, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to imagine that you're having a conversation with this twin that reminds you that it represents this body, and I want you to ask for their side of the story. Ask them if they tried to betray you, if they did betray you. You might be surprised that they have a different perception on what happened. Be willing to listen. Allow empathy, understanding, compassion. Did they choose their genetics? Did they choose their reaction to certain foods? I want you to get a sense that through understanding, forgiveness is possible. But forgiveness is a two-way street. And if through understanding you're at the point where you can forgive, but also be forgiven, to cultivate harmony and synergy and collaboration in the future, just let me know by nodding your head. I want you to get a sense that whatever is obstructing the way, according to the Stoics, becomes the way. And what if you need collaboration to create the future that you desire? I want you to get a sense that you need your body and your body needs you. If you are your conscious and unconscious decisions and your body is the vehicle that you have, is it possible to live this life just as a body with no conscious or unconscious thought? And is it possible to navigate through life just through thoughts and feelings but no body to act as a vehicle? In which case, having the best possible relationship with your body and your body with your mind is in all interests for a healthy, happy, powerful future where you get to live your life again. That's it. And I want you to imagine hugging that part and really feeling empathy, connection, a deep understanding. To feel compassion, understanding, to feel sorry for believing that this body betrayed you, but also to feel the forgiveness from your body. And in doing so, I want you to imagine that you're laying the foundations for a harmonious relationship based on a promise. I want you to promise to do the very best for your body. And in return, your body will do whatever it can to facilitate the life and the future that you desire. And if both parts agree, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. I want you to step into what looks like your twin until both of you become one, healing a splintered, fractured relationship, and now two becoming one, working in harmony. You will do what you can for your body, and your body will do what it can for you, enabling you to desire to make great choices, not to fight your body, but to nurture your body, to reward your body, to accept that your body is unique, which then influences the choices you make for your body. And in return, your body will let go of some of its fears and reservations. Maybe it's been holding on to excess body fat it doesn't need. Maybe it's been releasing more cortisol and adrenaline because of uncertainty. And as you heal the relationship with yourself, the biochemical relationship with yourself will also change. Nothing grows in a war zone, but when the war zone becomes peace, farms, forests, and orchards can grow again. It's time to leave the lake, feeling a connection with yourself, but also I want you to imagine breathing in that healthy, nurturing air, maybe having another piece of fruit. And as you do so, connect to the emotion of giving yourself a gift, that healthy, nutritious food is the source of comfort. And that does leave you with a feeling of relaxation. And when all parts are ready to leave this planet, feeling healthier and feeling that a more harmonious relationship is now possible for you, with you, let me know by nodding your head. And then imagine floating up into the atmosphere until you imagine yourself orbiting this healthy, healing planet. And then imagine whoosh, you're now seeing the planet from afar, from the James Webb telescope, seeing that planet. And then imagining that even the telescope was just a thought in your mind. And then return to the present, but taking all of these wonderful changes with you, particularly feelings of healthiness and the feeling of harmony between you and your body. As all parts are now in the present, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, you will awaken feeling positive, optimistic, eager to make good choices because you want to, not because you have to. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.